Delta Airlines is one of the most popular airlines in the United States. In fact, I would say of the big three, Delta, United, and American, Delta probably has the most loyal following of them all. And that's because, if we're all honest about it, even those of us like myself that fly more on American, sometimes on United, and I have to admit that Delta's product is really, really good. I mean, their customer service is great. The flight attendants are always helpful. Their seats are comfortable. And generally, Delta is more on time than any of the others. Their clubs are great. I mean, there's just so many good things to be said about Delta Airlines. However, the big problem with Delta is when you're deep into the points game, and if you really value all of those miles that you earn on your credit card and through flying, then Delta begins to lag far, far behind the competition. Because when it comes to United's miles and American's miles, Alaska, and several other programs, they just simply don't have the value that other programs do when it comes to redeeming your miles for flights. For domestic flights, they can be okay. But for business class flights, they're not good at all. In fact, usually you're going to be somewhere around 1.2 to 1.4 cents per point in value, which compared to competitors just isn't good. So, what's the best card to use for Delta Airlines? Now, Delta has a whole bunch of their own credit cards, but I'm going to tell you why maybe the best choice isn't a Delta card at all. So if you would, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's dive into it together. Now, Delta has an array of 7 different credit cards. They have 4 on the personal side. They have 3 on the business side. On the personal side, they have just their Delta Blue card. It's the no annual fee option. It doesn't really give you much for it, so not many people consider that to be a card that they want in their wallet. Then you go up to the Delta Gold card, and it gives like a credit for the $150 annual fee that you can use with their Delta stays, which is hotels. And that card's where you start getting things like free checked bags and things of that nature. Then you move up to the $350 Delta Platinum card, and that is a very good card because it gives a bunch of good credits. It also, of course, gives the free bags and all that other stuff. And then also it gives you a boost towards your status with an MQD boost. And also it gives a companion certificate that can be used within the United States. So that's a great card. And then you have the Delta Reserve. The Delta Reserve is their top level card, gives lounge access both to Centurion lounges and 15 visits a year to Delta Sky Clubs. It also gives a bunch of the credits and a companion pass that even allows you to book a companion for free, just pay the taxes and fees in first class within the United States. So those are all great cards. And then on the business side, they have, of those last 3, of the gold, the platinum, and also the reserve, you have the kind of business variations of each of those that are slightly different, but pretty much very, very similar. So you can get like 2 of the Delta cards, and that's going to, through the MQD boost, if it's platinum or above, platinum or reserve, either on the business or the personal side. You have 2 of those cards, you start off the year with silver status. If you have 3 of those cards, you're past silver status and you're halfway to gold. And if you were to have 4 of them, now that would be a steep annual fee, close to $2,000, but you would have gold status. So all of those are very good reasons to like the Delta cards. But the Delta cards, they don't really earn that well. And then in addition to that, they still earn Delta miles and they don't help you to redeem those miles in any better fashion. But I'll tell you what card does. And it's kind of a strange choice, but consider the American Express Business Platinum card. Now, the Business Platinum card is the business variation of the well-known American Express Platinum card. It is somewhat different than the Personal Platinum, but it has one particular superpower that if you pair it with Delta as a Delta flyer, can be extremely, extremely valuable. Now, as we said, this card is $895. That's a steep annual fee. For that amount, as far as multipliers go, they're not all that great. Pretty much it's 1x everywhere. Now, if you make some large purchases over $5,000, you do get a bump to that multiplier. And if you purchase airfare and things through the portal, then you get a bump to 5x. Now that's where this can be very interesting because the card, I mean, it's a lot of money and you would have to work the credits. So if you're not the kind of person who's willing to put the effort into it, then it's probably not the right card for you. But if you fly Delta and if you're willing to get back your hotel credits, there's a $600 FHR hotel credits used $300 first half of the year, $300 second half of the year. Those are outstanding credits. Nona and I use them all the time. I mean, that's a very good way to get 600 of the almost 900 back. There's an airline incidental credit. Now, that used to be really good for Delta, but just recently they kind of closed the loophole because you used to be able to, if you booked part of your flight with a Delta gift card, then you could pay for the rest of it as long as it was like under $250 and it would credit back. But now it's just basically for bag fees and seat selection fees, what was typically called incidental. So you could use it for your bag fees if this was your primary Delta card that you were going to use. Then you also get a credit like with Dell, and that credit is $150 a year. And so you can order something on the Dell website, you'll get $150 back from that. In addition to that, you do get a small credit for your cell phone bill if you put it on the card. So it has a few ways to get back a good portion of what you are paying out in that $895. It also has a Hilton credit, $50 each quarter of the year. That's really easy to use. It can be used for anything at Hilton's, including the room rate. So basically, it's just a little better than break-even type of card if you're using those credits. And another great benefit of the Business Platinum is it gets you into lounges. And here's what's cool if you're flying Delta. It gets you into American Express Centurion lounges, but it also gets you into Delta Sky Clubs, just like the Delta Reserve does. Now, the Delta Reserve will get you 15 visits a year. The American Express Platinum will only get you 10 visits a year, but that's 10 24-hour visits. So if you go 3 times in the 24 hours, that only counts as 1. So that's pretty decent lounge access. But the real superpower of this card, if you're a Delta flyer, is booking travel through American Express and their travel portal. Because if you choose Delta as your primary airline, so it's the one that you're going to get your incidental credits back on and all of that, then when you book any flight on Delta through American Express Travel, you get back 35% of the fare in points. So what that means is that in essence, all of your bookings with your American Express points are going to come out at a 1.54 cent per point rate. Now, that is better than you're going to get almost all of the time. Now, there would be the few weird exceptions, particularly if you're flying from out of the United States to somewhere else that's out of the United States. You know, use cases like that, Delta SkyMiles might be better. But pretty much, if you're flying domestically, that's going to be better than almost any time that you're going to use your Delta miles, with a few exceptions. So that gives you a consistent good rate, or at least a better rate, still not quite as good as you can get with United points or with American miles, but it's a better rate for Delta than just using Delta miles and racking up points with Delta cards. So the other cool thing about it is if you book your Delta flight online through the Amex travel portal, you can also put in your Delta frequent flyer number, and you're going to receive points for the flight with Delta. And you're going to receive your points towards your MQDs in order to gain status and all the rest. So when it comes to a card for a person who really is going to fly Delta primarily or only, and they really want to get the best value they can out of their points, I'm just thinking that perhaps the Business Platinum is actually the best Delta card. Now, I have the Business Platinum. I love the Business Platinum. I love the lounge access. We love the FHR. I mean, it's been a really good card for us. I do have a referral link down below, and you can earn up to 300,000 American Express membership reward points. At a 1.54 cent per point value, that is outstanding. That's a whole lot of Delta flights. So If you'd like to apply for that card and you'd like to use my link down below, then that would greatly help the channel and be greatly appreciated. But when it comes to which Delta card is best, now of course this card's not going to give you the MQD boost and all of that, but as far as just getting the best value for points, the best cent per point value in the end, I think the American Express Business Platinum might be the best Delta card. Well, let me know down below what you think of this, if perhaps it's a feasible alternative to those Delta cards. Thanks for being here. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Consider my channel membership. It's just $2.99 a month. I do special release videos every week for my channel members. And I also release most of my videos a little early so channel members get them first. Then I have a higher tier called Spreadsheet Warriors, which gives you even more access through some live Zoom sessions and things of that nature. So look at the join button or the link below. Thanks for being here. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time.